The resolution phase is officially over. Why the first 14 days of January predict your entire Q1 results. Welcome to your Weekly Ally, a weekly newsletter where we dive deep into the strategies, stories, and game-changing insights that help you navigate business challenges and unlock your organization's true potential for growth. Let's talk about why the strategy window is closed. For the last month, we've been talking about strategy. We looked at the 2026 forecasts, we discussed hiring, and we mapped out the year. But as of this morning, the strategy window is officially closed. The biggest mistake founders make in January is letting the planning mindset bleed into execution time. They spend the first 2 weeks of the year tweaking the plan rather than working the plan. This leads us to the knowing-doing gap. There's a reason why 90% of business strategies fail to execute according to the balanced scorecard framework. It isn't because the strategy was bad, it's because of what researchers Jeffrey Pfeffer and Robert Sutton call the knowing-doing gap. In business, we often mistake talking about something for doing something. We hold a kickoff meeting, we refine the Q1 OKRs, we reorganize the project management board. These are what I call safe activities. They feel like work. They trigger the dopamine release of being productive, but they are actually forms of procrastination. Here is the reality check. Research suggests that 23% of all new goals are abandoned within the first week alone. By the third week of January, often called Blue Monday, momentum drops by nearly 80%. If your team is still in meeting mode this week, you aren't executing, you are stalling with permission. We also need to look at the compound cost of a soft launch. Many leaders treat the first 2 weeks of January as a ramp-up period. They let people ease back in. This is a mathematical error. A slow start in Q1 doesn't just delay results by 2 weeks. It creates an execution debt that compounds. First, you get reactive decision-making. If you start cold, you spend February reacting to January's lack of pipeline rather than closing deals. Second, you pay the catch-up tax. You end up forcing crunch time in March to hit quarterly numbers, which burns out your team. The only difference between a record-breaking year and a stagnant one is often the velocity of the first 14 days. So, how do you break the gridlock? Knowing you need to move fast is easy. Knowing exactly what to cut and what to push is the hard part. I realize that most productivity advice is too generic for this specific week. You don't need better habits. You need a tactical intervention to jolt your organization awake. I have outlined the 3 strategic moves to secure Q1 momentum in a dedicated post on my Substack. In that full guide, I break down the January 15th sprint, how to kill zombie projects, and the deep work morning protocol. You can find the link to the full strategy in the newsletter. Here is the bottom line. The time for looking at the map is over. You know where you are going. The market signals are clear and your strategy is set. Don't ease into 2026. Attack it. Discussion time. How do you handle the post-holiday hangover in your business? Reply and let us know. New here? Welcome to your Weekly Ally. Subscribe to join entrepreneurs building what matters.